Okay, thank you. So while we're waiting for SMK Negeri 13, I want to share the for the rules for today's session. As we already announced at the group, the motion is about study abroad is a better choice for a better future. And then we hope that starting this session, the participants will reduce the using of paper. So we need to see your spontaneous in reading your argument. So we hope that you can present your argument without paper. Okay? And for the first session, we will have SMA Magetan and SMK 11 Bandung A. The affirmative team will be SMK Negeri 11 Bandung A, and the negative team will be SMA Negeri 1 Magetan. Can you hear that? So, are you ready, SMA Magetan?
Yes, please.
Ready.
SMK Negeri 11 Bandung, Grup A, are you ready?
Yes.
Halo, SMK 11.
Yes, we are ready.
Okay, you may start now.
Sampai izin. Oh, new line. Kak.
Okay, I will start now. First, I will introduce our team. My name is Novi Andiani as first speaker, and he is Wilman Prasetyo as a third speaker, and she is Ilmi Hanifa as a second speaker.
Iya.
This house believes that
Lihat atas.
pardon?
Okay, you can continue.
This house believes that study abroad is a better choice for a better life. And at the beginning, I will explain what is study abroad. Study abroad is the term programs that run through to the university, which allows a student university to come to a foreign country and attend to a foreign university. And study abroad program can many shape and sizes. The typical of programs can just one semester or long up to 1 year. And study abroad we really agree with the motions that study abroad is a better choice for a better future, because study abroad programs can provide students to have an abroad experience, to learn another language, and to immerse themselves for a different culture and expand their world views. Another than that, study abroad is a better choice for a better future, because look to the goals of it. Study abroad can give support to the development skills and attitude to the student, and the more important thing is study abroad can make the internationalization of home university. That's all for me, and another benefit or reason why we agree with the motions will be explained by my friends. Thank you.
Okay, proceed to the first speaker of SMA 1 Magetan.
Just wait a minute, please.
Okay.
Okay, good afternoon, judges and participants of this competition. I would like to thank you for the chance that giving to us. Then, let me introduce the member of my team. First, myself, my name is Fikri Arifan Cahya as the first speaker. Then next to me is Nadia Nurunuha as the second speaker. And the last is Valentina as the third speaker. Then, for the split team, me as the first speaker will explain why this motion appeared. And then the second speaker will tell about the detail about this motion, and then the last speaker will summarize all of our explanation. Before we start about it, I would like to review from the first speaker. The first speaker of positive team said that to give the benefit of study abroad to another country is to develop language skill. I mean, I'm disagree with you because to develop our language skill, actually, we don't need to go abroad. In Indonesia itself, there are lots of institutes we can join to develop our English, such as Primagama, and then GO, and then English First, Oxford, and a lot of institute another. Okay, and then here I will deliver my material about study abroad is a better choice for a better future. We believe this motion appeared because there are a lot of students from a country. Then they go to another country just because to get a better education. Studying abroad may be one of the most beneficial experience for a college student. By studying abroad, students can have the opportunity to study in a foreign nation and take in the air and culture of a new land. But while someone see it positively, studying in foreign countries has many negative influence on families or in society. Firstly, children are too young to be alone in foreign countries. I mean, they need more attention from their parents because young dealing with their problems. And then, secondly, sending young children abroad also causes social problems. There are increasing numbers of so-called good fathers, men that send their families overseas for education and life loaned as mere working machines. And then, lastly, studying in foreign countries can be a waste of money because this day the quality of English education is very high. Even if students don't go abroad to improve their English, they could have a high level of education in public schools or private institutes. And then, besides that, study abroad itself have a bad reason why we should not to do it. Such as the application process is too complicated and then confused to choose a program in foreign, and then if we study abroad, it won't help our career. And the most problematic is when you miss your family, how to stay in touch with them. I think that's all my explanation for today. I hope you can catch what I say. And for your attention, I say a lot of thanks. Now, I give the chance for the second speaker of affirmative. Thank you.
Okay, please continue, SMK 11 Bandung.
Okay, thank you. Here, so here, I want to look a little. First, you said that we could learn English in our country, but the best way to learn a language is on its country itself. So, and we have to learn it from the native speaker so we could understand more. And then, like when we say how to keep in touch with our family, I mean it's a modern era. We have Skype, we have a lot of technology that could help us stay in touch with our family. And then I want to tell you why study abroad is a better choice to have a better future. First, of course, the first thing that pops up on our minds is study abroad, have a good quality, have a better qualities than study in our own country. First, you know the teachers from another country, some of them are more open-minded than in our country. And then there's attitudes. I mean, like if we just study in other country, that means that we meet new people, and then we have to learn how to act in front of them, how to act in front of a lot of different people from a lot of countries, and then not every country has a same way of life, so we could fix our attitude with them. And then there's another problem about attitude, like time management and discipline things. A country like UK has a high discipline quality and then has a good time management too. So it's a good choice to study abroad. And then study abroad trains the student how to get out from their comfort zone. I mean, we cannot always be in our parents' protection, right? We have to try new things. We have to get out from our comfort zone, and we cannot get that if we just stay in our comfort zone, like stay live with our family. We have to try something new, and then by studying abroad, we could be ready for facing all the consequences that might be happen. So we could be more ready to our future later. And then talking about facilities, of course, another countries has better facilities than other countries. There are some technologies that not exist in Indonesia and other countries have it. Like in Japan, they have a really amazing technology that not exist in Indonesia, and it would help us more to learn better. And then there are some students that use their chance to study abroad as a vacational things, like new places, new experiences. I mean, they could have fun and they could study in the same time. Thank you. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you Ilmi from SMK 11 Bandung. Proceed to the third speaker of SMA Magetan.
Okay, please
wait a minute.
Sorry, second speaker I mean.
Yes, okay. Okay, hello. Nadia Nurulha as the second speaker from Senior High School 1 Magetan. I will do the rebuttal from the statement that you said before. First, the idea of studying language abroad is not always better, because when students went there to study, the needs to learn their language besides study actually deserve their study there. And for the stay in touch with our family in country is still hard to do. First, because it will cost for money. And the real problem is the different time zone happened. Like if we go study abroad in America while our family is in Indonesia, the time in America is in daytime, while in Indonesia itself is already night. So it will be hard to us for decide the right time to communicate with our family. So I will go straight to my opinion first. Indonesian people often to underestimate their own country capability of university. We also have university that is famous in the world. According to Weibo Metrics on 2015, we placed on 30 top universities among Southeast Asia. Just like Gadjah Mada University, they are placed for the need Indonesia University for 13, and Institute of Technology Bandung for 15. Also, we have our university listed for the best in the world. Gajah Mada University placed on 518 among other foreign countries. So, why do we need to go abroad for studying when we already have good capability for college from staying in Indonesia? And not going abroad, we mean to develop our technology in Indonesia and helping Indonesia to be a better country in the world. And then it's dangerous to study abroad because of many different aspects from the one we know in Indonesia. Start from the big difference of culture. The carefree culture is way different from we know in Indonesia. That kind of culture might lead to any kind of crime. And then the third is the life expenses in foreign country is far more expensive than we spend in Indonesia because of their high money value. Even then the real bad news is even if you have graduated from university overseas with good GPA, when you return to Indonesia, it will be all useless. When you because still need you because even though because you still need to get a standardized diploma in Direktorat Pendidikan Tinggi. Whether you are a bachelor or any degree you get from the overseas, it will be all the same. Even more, the degree of foreign countries standardized to Indonesia's degree is decreased, since it's such a short period to get the bachelor degree in overseas compared to in Indonesia. That's all from me as the second speaker. Thank you for the chance you give to me. I will give back the time for the third speaker of affirmative team. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Nadia. Let's proceed to the third speaker of SMA Magetan. SMK 11 Bandung.
Okay, I think it's my turn. Hello, my name is Wilman Prasetyo. I'm the third speaker of SMKN 11 Bandung B18. So I want to rebuttal your statement about the economical problems, right? There are so many scholarships. So when you need money, you can join one of it. So you can get some help from the scholarship. So you don't need to pay for study abroad. And this house believe that study abroad is a better choice for a better future. And I think, and I really agree with that. Like my friend said, that not just about the different ways of they study, but there are more benefits of studying in another countries. It's like you got more experience there. You can see the world in the other view, and the education, the career, you can develop your language, and yeah, it's so many benefits from study abroad. And I think about the harm, about the harmful things that would happen in another countries. That wouldn't happen because there was such a comics that could defend our student. So we could save there. No one could harm us if we study in another country. So I really agree with the motion today. I think that's enough for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Wilman.
Okay.
Move to the third speaker of SMA Magetan.
Yes, thanks for the time being and wait for a minute. We try to share the screen. Hello, my name is Valentina Saraswati and I'm the third speaker from Senior High School in Mactan. First, I want to repeat. One, you say scholarship for studying. When we go abroad can make we pay less, but actually scholarship for studying abroad is harder and more complicated to get. Also, to get most of the scholarship, we have to have invest money, and the minimum is pretty high. So we still need more money than if we studying here. Also, when we going to find scholarship, we still have to choose the program, and it's hard to find the right program that can send us safely and clearly because the administration to reach other country to study there is harder than when we study here. Second one is we can get experience more by traveling because studying abroad just allows us to study because when we go there for studying abroad, the idea of look around, see to study more, especially in the period language because their language is absolutely different than us. Maybe some sounds almost the same, but mostly it's different. So first we need to learn language and then study, and we cannot know more about their daily life if we just study and study and study to get better grades there. Now I will give you the my argument. First, to be studying abroad actually is not a better choice for better future because when we study here we can really thinking about the study, not about the other thing like language that absolutely different over there, and the life way, the technology there that may be different, the people social life to meet new people and then try to adapt there. It will be harder for us to completely think about study. Second one is the budget. Not every scholarship let you get free studying there. You still need to pay life expenses, you still need to pay your clothes, you still need to pay if you want to hang out with your friends, you still need to pay for books and everything you need. The scholarship is actually mostly just pay you for the school program, not for the other expenses that you need, the personal expenses. Second one is security. When we go there to study abroad, it will less secure for us because we're far away from home. There's the country that we go to is actually have different rules, different moral values, different social life, different people. So if you go there and you don't know that, you still need to learn more and more and more, and it's not good for you because for first few months or for the whole time you're there, it'll be more dangerous for you because you don't know the what happened there and you don't know about their life and you may be get into dangers. Second one is the next one is for the mental of the student itself. A lot of students that when study abroad is not because they want it. It's mostly because their parents want it or they win a scholarship or something like that. They're smart and people send them there. But the mental of the people that go there without their want, it can broke because the differences of culture and moral there and social life make people confused. When they there and the culture is too different, it's hard for them to accept the culture. They will really confused. Their mental will shaking, especially when they also need to study hard. For example, the university, they study, they have to get money, they think about the payment and the social life and judging because where they come from and their language is not that good when they there, their mental will be in danger. Next one is a lot of foreign people who come to the university in Indonesia to learn. So why we as the Indonesian who will get a lot of advantage if we studying here going over there, because we have a lot of program that can send us to university in Indonesia that work with our school, or we can get scholarship in Indonesia. It's easier, it's closer, you can talk to your parents in a lot of time, you can go back home easily and you can go there easily, you will have friends. It's better to live in here and go study here than go out there far. And then the next one is the difference of nature, especially if you go to the like southern part of the earth or northern part. The difference of the nature can give you a big problem. A lot of people can get allergies when they went there first time. Then the difference of the temperature, mostly we're warm and then suddenly we went there and it's cold. The shocking temperature, the allergies, the new substances that we meet there, it can make allergies. And because our body is different from the body of people who live in there their whole life, the doctor can give us the wrong medicine, and it's totally dangerous to enter the hospital there without knowing the real medicine we need, especially when we get new allergies or sickness or whatever that is. The nature is more dangerous than everything. Then the differences in language will be the burden of life there. When we first come, the language is different and we have to study, catching up. We'll get less studying because the teacher in the university or school we teach with their own language that we actually just learn for a few months, or we not really know, or we can know it but we know it as language that we learn in Indonesia, so it's totally harder to study over there. Then the application process is complicated because it's about two countries, not just like two different schools from like East Indonesia with West Indonesia or something like that. It's about this country in that country, and there's a lot of application, visa and everything. It's really hard to get into a country and study there because there's a lot of chance we got deported, we got lied, we got tricked by the program, we got the trick by the scholarship, by school, we got bullied there because we're different. So it's better to study here than studying over there. Then the choice of programs supposed to help are hard because some program maybe seems simple for us, like you just enter your name here, fulfill the form and went there. But actually no, there's a lot of things you have to complete. And it needs a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of meet people that you not really like, and it's not always worth it to go there that way, study there hard with different language and hard here to go there. And with the chance to get tricked, the chance to get lied and lost like a lot of money. So it's not that good. And the last one is you have to leave commitment that you already have here. For example, if you're a high school student, you have to go study abroad out there. Then when you came back, everything could be different. And when you here, you're so smart and you get chance to go to good university, and then you go there, and when you back, your friends start to be really smart and you don't have enough brain. You don't really have enough chance to go to university because your friends different, or you have more years in your school time. So it's better to studying here than there. Because by studying there, you can lose the chance that you actually, a good chance that you actually have here. You can lose the commitment. You can lose the good communication with your family because you lost connection with them when there. And you can change to be different person. You have morally different and you think everything here is weird and there is weird too. You're confused if you go over there. So we really disagree with studying abroad is better choice for a better future, because it actually give a burden to the student itself when they're going there. A lot of disadvantage, and then the advantage. Why we not learn here when we can and just raise Indonesia? So the university in Indonesia is better than the university there. So in the future, people won't need to go to other countries, and the people that other and far there, the foreign people for us will come in here and study with us. It's better than we have to study there and learn their stuff. It's better for them to learn our stuff, and we just teach them. So thank you. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you Valentina. So, SMK 11 Bandung, do you have another feedback or response to Magetan?
Yes, sure. I think I heard from the first speaker of Magetan team that the third speaker will summarize their arguments, but I think the third speaker is give new argument, new statement, and it's so long time. And I mean, you have to just summarize what your first and second speaker, not give new argument and a lot of new arguments. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, Magetan. How about that?
No.
Well, actually, that's my friend's argument, and I'm just make it looks longer than it should be. Really, it's my friend's argument. I just get it from them.
Okay, so any further response upon the topics for Magetan and SMK 11 Bandung? SMK 11?
Yes.
Are you okay with that?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
You still have any argument upon the Valentina's answer?
No, that's enough. If it's not it's not wasting a limit time of the personal of each speaker. Yes, that's all.
Okay, so we will say hello to our judges from CMU Secretariat, to Wisnu and Kanokwan. Hello,
Hello.
Hello.
Miss Kanokwan and Wisnu.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so do you have any response upon the two participants' performance?
I think both teams said with confidence, and you. I think that you have find your best evidence to support your idea of each team, and I like the way you present. Especially you say you show the picture of you show the picture apart from just speaking, only speaking. I like the idea you present today very much. No, you have something to say. He's okay. No, nothing to say from visitor.
Okay, thank you, Miss Kanokwan and Mr. Wisnu. So, I'm sorry for not introduce our judges from CMU. So today, actually, I am replacing Miss Alin, the judges from Simolek, since her father has already passed away yesterday, so she cannot she cannot join the session today. So I'm replacing her today. And now, my suggestion for the participants in first session is some of you mentioned about study abroad, not abroad. So it's just a minor mistake. So it should be said as study abroad, not abroad. So also the second one is, please mind the duration of each participants. So beware that everyone has the same duration of and time. for speaking and for presenting their argument. So yes, as the third speaker, you have to resum your team arguments, but please mind the time so it would be comfortable for everyone. Okay. Okay, thank you for SMA 1 Magetan and SMK 11 Bandung Group A. Now, may I ask the judges from CMEO Secretariat to decide each side for the second round matchups, which is SMK 1 Kaligondang and SMA Grati. SMA 1 Grati.
Which one? Okay, I think the first one, Kaligondang, will be the proposition, sorry. Kaligondang will be the proposition, and SMA N1 Ready will be the opposition.
Okay. So I will give the privilege to host this second round to Vishnu. So you may lead the debate session now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Media. Kaligondang and Grati. Sorry. Kaligondang and Grati, are you ready? Kaligondang?
Yes.
Okay. So you will be the first speaker for your team, Anggita, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Please proceed.
Okay.
Matching one is mean that it's easy to make decision.
Can we start?
Please. Yes, please proceed.
Okay. Hello, we are from Vocational High School 1 of Kaligondang. First, we will introduce ourselves. My name is Anggita Putrustari as the first speaker, and she is Dinis Setianingsih as the second speaker, and she is Jihan Amalia as the third speaker. Okay, and we as affirmative team, we totally agree with the motion. This house believes that study abroad is a better choice for a better future. And I will tell you about the definition. Study is default time and attention to gaining knowledge. Abroad is foreign countries considered collectively. A better is the better one. Choice is an act of choosing between two or more possibilities. And future is a period of time following the moment of speaking or writing, time regarded as still to come. And the better choice here means study abroad. And the limitation today is study of college. And I, as the first speaker, will tell you from education side. My second speaker will tell you from social side, and the third speaker will illustrate and strengthen our argument. Why the motion goes up? Because nowadays many people want to study abroad to get the bright future. And why we agree with the motion? Because there are some benefits of study abroad. And I will tell you from education side. The benefit of study abroad from education side, there are first, you can learn many new cultures. This, from many experiences, study abroad is the best way to learn many new cultures. It will increase our experiences and skill in socialization. Second, increase our language skill. With study abroad, we can learn and improve our French language directly. It will become our provision for our career in the future. And like we learn English, we'll learn it for about 24 hours. Third,
study with international standards. Study abroad is the great opportunity to spend our time in the place where we know as the leading global center that you want. You will get the opportunity to learn from the famous experts and get the interesting work experience. Fourth is an intellectual character. College find college students who is intellectual and spirited with their field study. There's no other way that we can show except intellectual character, skill on academic field to make us seem more stand out than another competitors. And then modern and complete study facilities. The study facilities of college in a foreign country is modern and complete, and the teachers is erudite, communicative, and trained research. So it will increase our experiences and our knowledge, and it can increase our communication skills because you know that with study abroad we can increase many friends and we can increase many friends from many countries and because then is Indonesia law of respect of smart students. It happened, for example, it happened to Masha Kristantia Wibowo, the second champion of Unity champion. She wants to study in Indonesia, but she don't allow in TDC and national selection by invite trip for smart students. But she got the offer from Singapore. You know that Singapore is a French country. But she choose join enter test to Massachusetts Institute of Technology USA, and there provide many scholarship without funds. And the second example is Muhammad Firman Shah Qasim. He is the one who got OC medal. Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono says that he should get scholarship in college from a government until as strata 3. But he wants to continue his education to Institute of Technology Bandung, but by general selection. And he must pay for 25 million rupiah, and he paid it by his money box or saving from this achievement in Olympiad from junior high school until senior high school. But before he graduated from senior high school, he got a scholarship order from University of Singapore. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, and proceed to the next speaker of Grati, Karisma. I cannot hear your voice. Grati,
You switch on your microphone.
anybody can hear Grati?
No, I cannot hear Grati also.
No, I cannot hear.
Okay, please, Grati.
Have you connect the audio to the microphone? Check the audio connection, Grati.
We cannot hear you, Kathy. I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, hello. Now I can hear you.
Hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
Please speak a bit louder.
I'm sorry, we can hear you, Kathy. We lost your voice again.
Grati,
Tadi gini sudah, tadi sudah dicoba sama Pak.
Miss Media, can we wait for Grati or
Yes. Yes, Wisnu.
we should wait for Grati or proceed to another speaker?
I think we should wait for Grati because they are the opponent of SMK satu kali gondang.
Okay then.
Why does
you, Kathy.
No point.
No voice. No.
Nggak tahu.
When you scream, I heard you.
But you can eat raw octopus, right? Raw. Favorite.
Please speak,
Not my
Grati.
favorite.
Test the audio.
We are still trying it now. Yeah.
I heard you. Yes, we can hear you. Try to speak. Please try to speak. Hello, Grati.
What happened to the microphone?
Sometimes I can hear you, but right now cannot hear you.
Mr. Wisnu and Miss Kanokwan,
Yes.
should we proceed
Yes.
to the third session while we're waiting for Grati fixing their audio?
So we postpone this session.
Yes, unfortunately we have to do that regarding to
Okay.
the third themes.
So Kaligondang, you should wait for the Grati first, and we proceed to
The 13.
11 and 13, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please stay Kaligondang and proceed to host about the rule. Whose proposition and opposition? Please decide.
Bandung B.
Bandung
Proposition.
Proposition. And this one.
Opposition.
Okay. SMKN 11 Bandung, you get the proposition rule, and opposition is for 13 Bandung. Is it okay?
Okay, so
Okay, please proceed to proposition first. 11 Bandung.
Name is Divatias Maharani. My name is Divatias Maharani, and I'm the first speaker of the affirmative team. And just like usual, I want to remind you that our motion today is study abroad is a better for a better future. Pardon me. And then, what is study abroad? Study abroad is the term given to a program usually run through a university, and which allows the student to live in a foreign country and attend a foreign university as well. And then in most cases, two universities have an arrangement which allows the students to which allows them to exchange students so the students can learn about foreign cultures and broaden their horizons. And because this, with those definition, I totally agree with this motion because there are so many benefits from it. And what is the benefit? The first benefit, I think, the students can see the world and they can live. They can live alone. They know how to live alone. So in the future, they can face their future more confident than any students. And then the second one is the chance to experience different styles of education. Maybe I don't like this kind of education, but in the other country, I like the learning system. And then the next benefit is you can take in a new culture. Many students who choose the study abroad programs, maybe they just live in their home for the first time, and it's their new experience. When you study abroad, you will find that you have a better understanding and perception for the nation's people and history. You will have the opportunity to witness a completely new way of life. And the fourth benefit is you can improve your language skills. Because when you study abroad, it automatically you'll hone your language skills because you have to talking for example in English or in just like your host country, just like what host country. And then and even right now, some business want their workers to can speaking in English or Japanese or in Mandarin and many other language. So if we study abroad, we can improve our language skill by it. And last but not least, just like what I ever told you, that it can increase the opportunity of our career to be more better. Because when you finish the study abroad program and return home, you will return with a new perspective on culture, language skills, and great education, and a willingness to learn. Needless to say, all of this are so very attractive to future employees, and because of this study abroad, there are so many great experience for their students, and then they can face their future more confidently. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay. Please proceed to the next speaker, Ilya from 13 Bandung.
Thank you very much. Can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We are from 13 Vocational High School, and I am Maulina as the first speaker, and she is Gustami as second speaker, and he is Arif as third speaker. Okay, now we are the opposition team, but first I would like to review the statement from the first speaker of SMKN 11 Bandung. The first speaker from SMKN 11 Bandung said that we have to study abroad so we can learn about the in international system education. We can learn about the system education in other countries, but in this time, Indonesia has so many schools and college and university that use use international system. So if we want to get the quality, the quality of education as the same as other countries, we don't have to go abroad. We just have to choose the school which use international system education, and then you said that if we go abroad, we can learn about other language. But I think that if we want to learn about many languages, we just have to if we want to have an ability in so many languages, it's not about going abroad, but it's about how many practicing that we do. If we an example that we are in this competition, we don't have to go abroad, but we can learn about English language from here. And then after that, I'm going to explain about our argument, our first argument. We disagree about the statement that study abroad is a better choice for a better future. We disagree because of some reasons. The first reason is better future doesn't depend on we study abroad or not, but it depends on our effort. It is impossible to get a bright future if we are still lazy. Otherwise, even though we don't study abroad, we do our best, we can get a better future. And then the second reason is study abroad will spend more money. If we want to go abroad, we have to make visa and passport, and we will spend money for it. Also, cost of living and school fee in other country is more expensive than in Indonesia. The example, the proofs are based on detik.com. Cost of making passport is 200,000 rupiah until 700,000 rupiah. And then based on kaskus.co.id, cost of making visa is 700,000 rupiah until 2 million rupiah. And based on harga.web.id, cost of living in Japan is 13 million rupiah until 20 million rupiah for each month. And school fee in Japan for a month is around 6 million rupiah. And maybe that's from me. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, we want to check. Can you hear us?
Can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, please wait for the next session, right? Okay. This my proceed. Yes, 11. Yes, 11 Bandung. Okay. Second speaker.
Oh yeah, sure.
Show him your name.
My name is Kemaji Wabian. The second speaker. I'm going to answer some the argument first from the opposition team. The first one is Indonesian had many colleges that have in the international system. If you see like Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, and MIT or so many international college, they had a recognizable name because one thing. We use some curriculum, the same curriculum like Cambridge curriculum but if you consider the facilities, human resources, and also all of this combined, and you try to compare our education system and with theirs, we left behind. We are left behind. The second argument, that's about learning new language. Let's say that learning a new language is not always about English. You say you could go to Russian to learn Russian, or go to France to learn French, or even to go to German to learn German language, because if you there's so many even there's so many institutions that in Indonesia provide the education about language. Was still the more interpersonal interpersonal skill that one person provide is not enough. It's not enough even if about theoretical, if the theoretical language is even good. I'm going to rebuttal about it doesn't always depend on the future. It's all about choice. Studying is all about choice. You want to go to international, you go abroad, or even going to local. It's your choice actually. So I think that's one thing, that the future is in your hand. The future is in your hand. That means even if you even if you try not going to study abroad, it's still there's new experience. There's new experience. There's new yeah, you can like the first speaker speaks as you can see the new view of the world. And for the last about money, I think the study abroad is relatively easy rather than, let's say, 5 years ago, because this scholarship, there's a lot of institutions that offer scholarship to study abroad, like B.J. Habibie Institution to go and such thing. Also, even that the preparation is taking time and money. Taking time and money. It's a compromise. It's a compromise that we need to take. We need to take so we can have a new experience. And also, yeah, it's all about choice. Thank you. I'm going to redirect to the second speaker of SMK Entertainment.
Okay, please proceed. Gustami.
Yeah, hello. I'm second speaker from 13 Vocational High School. My name is Gustami. I will debut about second speaker from 11 Vocational High School Bandung that talk about the education for the other country. But I disagree with your state argument, but because now there is so many teachers who get bring to Indonesia to teach in Indonesia. Why the teacher from the other country teach in here? Because it will cut the cost. To that if we are bring the teacher from the other country here, if we are bring the teacher from the other country to here, it will getting better. Then we gotta send the student to the other country. Why? It will cut the cost. After that, with the scholarship, to get the scholarship, we gotta fulfill so many conditions to get the scholarship. And then I will tell you about our statement. The third statement is other countries have their own culture and language. As you saw, the speaker 2 from 11 Vocational High School. Other countries have their culture and different language than us, and it will make us shocked. Why? Because it will find something it's totally different with our country in the language and in the culture. If we don't understand the language, if we can adapt it with the language and the culture in that country. If we are sent to the other country to get the scholarship, we can live in there. Why? Because we can adapt. It will hard for us to live in there because we are not can't adapt it, the culture or the language in there. For example, in some or the other countries, if we are Muslim, we are not allowed to eat non-halal foods, right? Such as pork, dog meat, or the other food. But in the fact, in other countries, halal foods are really hard to find. So we hard to find the halal food for Muslim. After that, there are some questions that shouldn't be asked in certain culture, such as material status, religion, sexual orientation, or many things the other that. So it hinders us to communicate with the people around the other country is not friendly like Indonesian people. So we are gonna adapt it with their culture, their people in their language. What should we gonna ask? What shouldn't we gonna ask? So that. And the fourth statement, there are some countries that not allow religion people to pray in public places because it will really disturb the other people. So as I have thought that the other country not same with Indonesian people. There's a few rule for religion people who can pray in public place. It maybe they think that it will disturb the other people who not Muslim. So we are go to the other country. We will really hard to pray to find place to pray. For example, we are Muslim. It will be hard to find place for us to salat. Seems like few countries has been not allow the Muslim pray in public places. Thank you. That's all for me.
Thank you, Istami, and proceed to Gianni from 11.
Please go to the stand now.
Speaker of 11 Bandung.
Yes.
Yes, please proceed.
Okay. My name is Diana Gifari, but you can call me Dia. I'm the third speaker from Steve, and let me remind you that our motion today is study abroad is a better choice for a better future. Just like my teammate said, the international university like Harvard, Cambridge, etc. Is not enough. If we
Excuse
compare
me,
it to-
SMK 11 Bandung.
Yes.
Can you speak a bit louder? I cannot hear you.
Sorry.
Just relax.
Okay.
Please be
I'm
careful.
sorry. Do I have to repeat?
Yes, you
Okay.
better
My
repeat
name
at the
is
beginning.
Gifari, but you can call me Dia. I'm the third speaker from the affirmative team, and just like my teammate said, that Indonesia's college is not enough. If we compare them to the international college like Harvard or Cambridge, etc. And I want to rebuttal
the argument from the opposite team about language. We cannot learn everything in here in Indonesia because actually they use different language out there. In English language case, they're using different language in education. It's not really the same language as we learn here. And besides, we only learn the basics. So even if we learn from English course, we only learn the basic. We didn't know we didn't really know all the language. We didn't really learn it like we know in Indonesian language. So yeah, and if we go to another country, we will have new friends, experience, views, and it's a good thing because if we didn't have new experience, how we can make Indonesia make Indonesia better if we didn't have so many experience. We can get it from out there because other country must have different culture, different everything, and it's give impact for students that studying abroad. And the second speaker said that there is a country that do not allow some different religion, some people with different religion to pray. It's actually if us, for example, Muslims, it gave us more challenge for testing our faith. So it's really cool because if we didn't test our faith, we wouldn't know are we a good Muslims or not. And with that challenge, it's really good for us. And for different culture, it's actually make us respect them more because with the different culture we know that there's different culture from Indonesia and stuff, and we can respect them more because they're different. They're different from us, so we can respect them. I think that's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Wisnu, can I start it now?
Yes, Arif. Please proceed.
Okay. First, I will introduce myself. My name is Arif Wibisono. I'm from 30th Vocational High School. And as the third speaker, I will summarize the first and second speaker argument. First, we think better future doesn't depend on we study abroad or not. And we think it depends on our effort. Because if we're still lazy, I think it's useless if we are school abroad or whatever. And next, I will tell about the study abroad we spend more money. And you said that there are many scholarships. But the fact, the number of the scholarship and the number of the students who want to school abroad, it doesn't match. Example like at Australian Development Scholarships, it just 300 students per year. So we can see from there, it doesn't balance, right? There are many students who wants to school abroad, but the scholarships, it's not enough. And you said that school abroad, it's okay. We think that we have to switch our mindset that students that study abroad is cool or whatever. But if we do that, it seems like we are don't care about the local university, and we think instead we are school abroad, we need to improve our local university. Like you say that there are many university that adopt international system, but if if we do that, it's good, right? It's good if we adopt that international system. But if we do that, then why we should go to another countries if we adopt that their system? It's the same like we are schooling on abroad, but and we think we need to improve our skills in our local university. Then we are going abroad. There many negative effect for our countries. Like first and second speaker said that if we go abroad, we're getting some cultural shock. Like we need to adapt. We need to learn the culture in the country, but if we can do that, it's very dangerous for us. Example like the country that allowed the LGBT cases. So if we didn't have the strong mental, we can be persuaded, and I think it doesn't match with our religion. And next, if we go abroad, how if okay, and I say that the number of scholarship doesn't match about then the number of students who wants to go abroad, then why can we go to abroad that if that scholarship that doesn't enough? And I hear from the third speaker, school in local university it doesn't enough, and I think it's a wrong argument, because if we do that, it seems we don't care about the local university, so it will impact to the number of students in the local university, and it will be decreased. And we think if we study abroad, uh, we will take more risk. So, and we think how if we improve our skill and we are be the countries who apa ya, who the countries who be the visitors from others. And if we do that, I think our country is the same like Japan, like Australian, or like American. And I think it's enough from us. Thank you very much. And forgive me if I made a mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dan Miss Media,
Yes, Mr. Vishnu.
do you have some comment for the teams?
Maybe the opponent team will give any response upon the last speaker's argument.
The real problem is you mentioned about phobia of Islamic phobia in other countries. Yes, it's really sad to see a lot of it. But why? Are you afraid? Are you feel afraid about why Islam is going to be like this? Why can we all overcome this problem? the last month I'm go to Thailand, and I see a lot of LGBT people, and they respect us. Then we are the one who afraid, not them. We are the one who afraid because they see us, they respect us, they believe that even with our difference, that we can still work together, and I experienced that. So yeah, that's the main problem. Why we cannot overcome this problem, and as time develop, I believe now Islamic phobia will end, such as things as terrorism, but still the problem is in not in the foreign countries. Thank you. That's my 2 cents.
Okay, thank you, Rizky.
Whoa!
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Gemma. So, Mr. Wisnu and Miss Kanokwan, how about the performance of the last two teams? Any suggestion?
Here Miss Sin will give a comment from Simio.
For the two teams, right?
Can translate.
Okay.
But
It was so great to hear your debate.
can you hear us?
No.
I can
If
hear
not,
you.
that you can.
Yes, we can. It was so great to hear all the debates from the both of the teams. I think you guys made a great points of your argument. Also with some specific reasons. Also, it was really interesting to hear that you guys approach the debate to your religion perspective. So yeah, it was very interesting, and I think you guys did very well.
That's all for
Simio
Secretariat comments and for the Simolec.
Okay,
Any
thank you.
comments?
Thank you, Simes. My suggestion will be just a little notes for all of the teams that may I suggest you not to focus on the sensitive issue like in our country named Sara, suku adat ras agama, the tribe, the religion, the race, or what's another suku adat ras agama, yeah, that's 4 points. So I better suggest you to focus to another topic beside the religion because it's kind of private sector of everyone choice. Do you get what I mean? SMK 11, SMK 13.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe you can just focus on about the culture, about the financial matters, maybe, or about the education matters. It's okay. My suggestion is not to focus until the details about the religion because it's a bit sensitive, and everyone should be has their own opinion and their own option. Okay.
You mean the opposition team mentioned about the Muslim or something?
Is that okay, SMK 13, SMK 13?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, yes, Miss.
Okay, thank you. So, Simes, may we proceed to the last team? SMK 1 Kaligondang versus SMA 1 Grati.
Yes. So we start with Grati or we start
Grati?
over with Kaligondang.
No, The Grady doesn't speak. Speak already. So Grady, you are ready to
Yes,
speak?
we're ready. We're ready.
Okay, I can hear your voice. Please proceed to the first speaker from Grady.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Karisma Aprilia and I'm the first speaker from my team, the opposite team. Okay. I want to give my team's reason why my team are disagree that study abroad is a better choice for a better future. A new environment, of course, gives a big impact to someone. It means that by studying abroad, they must out of their behavior in their life, like language, foods, the new peoples with new behavior that happened can give bad effect to them, especially if that effects are really not synchron with our culture or Indonesian culture. And then, since the start of Indonesia's rapid economic growth, many people have gone overseas. It has also been suggested that children should be required to go abroad to improve their English. While some see it positively, but studying foreign countries has many negative influences on families in our society. And then, firstly, children are too young to be alone in foreign countries. They need more attention from their parents because young people have difficulties in dealing with their problems. When a juvenile faces trouble, it will be difficult to find someone who can give advice for him or her. And then they can also easily commit delinquent acts because there are many temptations around them. And then secondly, sending young children abroad also causes social problems. Like here in Korea, there are increasing numbers of so-called goose fathers, men who send their families overseas for education and live alone as mere working machines. According to recent news, they are likely to go bankrupt because of the heavy burden of expensive school fees. Many even commit suicide on account of loneliness and frustration. In addition, the divorce rate is increasing since the relationship between spouses weakens during separation. Lastly, studying in foreign can be a waste of money. These days, many many quality of English education in Indonesia itself is increasing. Even if students don't go abroad to improve their English, they could have a high level of education in public schools or private institutes in their own country, in this case Indonesia. Compared to attending schools domestically, it costs a huge amount of money to study overseas. This can lead the Indonesia economy to financial hardship, especially in this difficult time. While it may be getting easier to travel to America or the other foreign countries, as prospective students no longer require a visa, studying abroad has a number of negative effects, as I have mentioned before. Therefore, we should think carefully and not overlook these drawbacks when we consider sending our children overseas for studying. And then, we can see in health side. In so many cases, we learned that the students were enthusiastic and looking for an overseas adventure. However, the sudden and stressful shift to new environments and routines can cause underlying mental health issues to bubble to the surface. Based on the data conducted by Robert Quigley, MD DPhil, consisting of hundreds of scholastic clients over a 2-year period, we found the students 23 times more likely to need replacement assistance on account of mental health condition than their business travel counterparts. That's a startling figure, and it's especially concerning given that the number of students studying abroad is increasing each year. Okay, I think that's all from me, and then the second speaker from the government team.
Thank you. We proceed to second speaker of Kaligondang, Dini. Kaligonda.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Please proceed.
Okay, my name is TDC. I as second speaker, I will tell you about study abroad is a better choice for a better future from social state. The first, I will rebut the first speaker from negative news. Now we discuss about student college, not children and young very young children. So our purpose to the abroad is to study, and we can study by different cultures. If we want to be a good people, we should write our problem like the different culture, different language, and you know that we learn from this different. Okay, I will tell you my argument. I will tell you the four points for this motion. The first, independence. The second, change our mindset, new experience, and the last is encourage our friends. The first point is independence. If we study abroad, we live and survive our life alone, and we can rely our family to remit and fulfill our needs. If we need extra money, we must work to earn money and fulfill our needs, and we can learn how to manage our money. If the student correctly, they can get a scholarship for international students for pay its tuition and other student needs. And slowly, we will to set an independent person. The second is change our mindset. Study abroad became the good opportunity to can analyze any problem and phenomenon that happens around us. It can make us change our view to see anything that maybe never seen before. We also can think more objective when we read someone. The third is new experience. Based to the above, it can give us a new experience and new perspective in few life. There's many experience from students that study abroad. Less experience and life in overseas make more independent, wise and smart. In other hand, study abroad can make students more love with Indonesia. The last point is increase our fans. Study abroad can increase our fans in some country of the world. We will understand many people of persons from many countries, and we can get many friends from many countries in the world. And if we go back to Indonesia, we will have an extensive network. So life in different countries make us realize that this world is not only Indonesia. Thank you.
Thank you, and Grati. Proceed to the next speaker of Grati. Nisa.
Yes. Okay, well, I am the second speaker of opposite team for SMA and One Grati, and my name is Nisa. Well, I want to clear once again about the definition of studying abroad. Studying abroad means studying regardless of age and level up education in another country. Therefore, it's not just about the college or university level, right? Okay, I want to continue for my opinions. The first is about expensive. Nothing free in this world, right? Another big disadvantage of studying abroad can be the cost. Studying abroad can be expensive. The cost of studying abroad will depend on your major, the university and the country or city you choose. Keep in my mind that many countries don't allow the foreign student to work. So you need to have enough money before you study abroad in semester or years, or have someone from your supporting you. Ask yourself if you can afford of studying abroad. Airfare and visa can make a pretty big expensive. Next, cost of living in foreign country is higher than in this country. I mean than in Indonesia, in domestic university. Because I believe that you will study to another country that more developed than Indonesia, such as Japan, US, Dutch, German, or another country. In simple example, we can see the cost of living in Japan is about 13.5 until 18.5 million in a month. Can you imagine how about in US? Then in Indonesia, we can eat just for 5,000 rupiahs, right? Okay. And then I want to tell you that Indonesia also have a good education. Sorry. Indonesia has many reputable universities. We have several universities which has already been internationally well known, such as Indonesia University, Bandung Agriculture Institute, and Gajah Mada University. Moreover, this university has wide network and strong corporation branding. Besides, studying in domestic university will have more return on investment than studying abroad, which means we are contributing more to another country than our own country. Studying studying abroad costs higher than studying domestic universities, such I said before. As we all have known, it takes about 2,000 US dollar each semester, all around 600 sorry, or around 650 million rupiahs each year for each student. To study in US, Australia, or Britain, in which the cost includes accommodation, transportation, meals, and housing. And average standards of English proficiency score. It doesn't require letter or acceptance and complex health check, which is why it makes the process easier and faster. Okay, I want to tell you something. You have to know that better future, better life is not depend on where you are graduate. It's not depend on where you are study, but how you can use your knowledge and experience in society. It depends on your intention on yourself and how you can become useful in your country. So I think it is useless if you study abroad but you cannot useful in your country. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you. And then proceed to third speaker of Kaligonda.
Thank you. First, okay, thank you. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Jihan as the third speaker from affirmative team. Firstly, I want to rebut the argument from second speaker of negative team. He said that Indonesia has good university or education too, but I think you should know that also Indonesia, that university in Indonesia, there's no one include 200 best university in the world. And then, like my first speaker said, that the limitation today is the student in college, not student in too young age. Okay? And then my first speaker said that that Indonesia has law of respect to smart students. It happened to Marsha Kristen Wibowo and Muhammad Firmansyah Khatim. And I will tell you about my argument. From economic side, firstly, international career. The person who graduated from foreign, they have many experience. They have what's that? They have good education because in foreign country the facilities of education is modern, not like in Indonesia. And after they graduated, if they want to have a job in Indonesia, there are so many job vacancies that they can apply, because as we know that we are joined in MEA or Masyarakat Ekonomi. So during globalization era, so many companies give priority or need employment that they can speaking in English, they can get good experience and can get and many foreign universities provide scholarship for international students, and the foreign country also provides scholarship for research assistants. And in Indonesia, there is no one. For example, in Massachusetts Institute of Technology, USA, there are many scholarships without funds. Okay, that's all from me. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you. Please proceed to the next speaker of Grati, Salma.
Oh, yes. Can you hear us?
Yes.
First, I will introduce myself. My name is Salma. I am the third speaker from SMA1 Grati. First, let me rebuke your argument. What the meaning of university ranking when you cannot apply your knowledge in your own country? It seems to me that you want to emphasize that studying abroad is about prestige, seeing how you care about university ranking. And then I will tell about my opinion. If students study abroad, they will feel culture shock. Reality can be disappointing. When you first get to new country, you may feel a bit of disappointed. Maybe you had this dream about how your glamorous life in Paris. And when you get there, you discover that your dream destination is not living up to your expectation. Prepare yourself with culture shock when you study abroad. Differences can be huge if you move from Europe to Asia or smaller between France and Belgium. Standard of living can be different. There are more poor people in Eastern Europe than in Western Europe. Or you cannot expect the same way of life in India than in the United States. You will have to face a different culture, other behavior, and some can make you feel uncomfortable if you are not used to them. In the United States, people are very outgoing and strike up a conversation with strangers on the bus, whereas in Europe, talking to a stranger, you will probably get an angry look or might even scare people away. And then everyone knows that Chinese people are different from Americans, and Americans are different from Germans. Some differences are obvious while others are more subtle. Let's that cultural obstacle. Moreover, the food is different. And then you may have difficulties to find your old comfort food while you are abroad. Food is an important part of a country's cultures. So if the cultures, so if the culture is different, the food will be too. Cultural shock can be a real disadvantage for your study abroad. Study abroad. I'm sorry. And then I will continue about procedure and time. Even though studying abroad offered some scholarship, however, it takes it takes not only a longer time but also complicated procedure. Some requirements are even too high for some people. For for example, the score of IELTS, feather and acceptance recommendations and health tests. Meanwhile, in domestic universities, they 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 hit only over scholarship, but also need uncomplicated requirements. It is mostly about GPA. an average standard of English proficiency score. It doesn't require letter of acceptance and complex health check, which is why it makes the procedure easier and, and faster. In conclusion, studying abroad doesn't determine someone's future. Instead, instead, it gives several drawbacks such as an exposed to culture shock, lone, lone, lines, yes, and homesickness. It has complicated procedure and takes longer time. Nevertheless, we suggest that why should we study abroad when our domestic universities offer the same and even better quality of education. And not everyone who graduates from foreign university has good has a good international career, right? That's from me. Thank you.
Thank you. And Kaligondang, do you have any comment?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Maybe SMA 130. You too much love and it's so uh, it's so seems and you you know that to study abroad we must already to face everything in there, like their culture or homesickness and different language, different culture, and other. And maybe the first is you too much love. Okay, it seems not serious. Can you hear me?
Yes, of course. We can hear you.
Okay. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Vidya, do you have some comments?
Okay, Kaligondang, how about the last argument from SMA Grati? What's your argument? What's your response upon the arguments?
We think that government team said that we haven't say too much. I think you agree that we have a good preparation, so don't be shocked that we say too much. It means that we have good preparation. Okay, Joseph.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wisnu and Ms. Kanokwan. Do you have any other comments about their performance?
Okay, thank you for your efforts of both teams. I think some of you mentioned a good point, but may I suggest you a bit about how to convey the conversation? Like some of you, I think you repeat the same idea. That's one point, but repeat the same idea. So I think next time it will be better if you list the point before you speak, so it will better your presentation.
And from me that I just want to remind all of the participants that at the start of this meeting, Ms. Media points that we should reduce the paper reading. So For the next week session, I think we should reduce the paper reading and focus to the spontaneous talk. I think that's all.
Okay,
Miss
thank
Media.
you. Yes, thank you, Mr. Vishnu and Ms. Kanokwan. So, for all of the participants, thank you for your great performance today. And as Mr. Vishnu already mentioned before that we supposed to reduce the using of paper in presenting your argument. So we hope that next week we will do the paperless presentation. So everyone should be ready with their arguments, and meanwhile in this while you're waiting for the next session, you can practice with your partner or with your team or maybe with another students to make your pronunciation and conversation better. So from today's session, I just want to make a little notes about our topic today. Some of you still using word abroad rather than abroad. Maybe if you check the dictionary, it has a very different meaning. So regarding that, you might have an opportunity to meet another students from another Southeast Asian countries. So it will be confusing for them because you choose the wrong word to presentation your argument.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. So mind the words you choose. And then after that is the intonation. Mind the intonation when you speak. I know you are all keep the spirit high, so you are very enthusiastic about this competition, but mind the intonation, otherwise the other student will think that you are against their argument, or maybe you're a bit angry or something doesn't make them comfortable. So you don't have to speak fastly, but the important things is your friends understand what you want to say, what you want to present. That's all for me, from me. So there's another further comments from Simes.
I think it's enough for.
Yeah, this is enough from CMS.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vishnu. Thank you, Ms. Kanokwan. We will announce the result in the WhatsApp group later, as usual. So thank you for gracing our competition today. You are all done the great job. Thank you. See you next
Thank
week.
you all.
Bye.